Hello and welcome to Colors of Chaos. I'm Maj Lad and today we'll be exploring the chilling first episode of RWBY Fairy Tales. Oh, and it starts off amazingly, just in time for Halloween. This episode really nailed the creepy vibes of the specific Grimm it deals with, the chill, and how it basically xehanorts people into looking like Salem within this show. The way it made people look visually is pretty different than in the book, with the only similarity being the pale skin. No comment was made on the red veins nor the absence of eyes, though the art depicts the latter in the book, and Poppy towards the end of the story was much more accurate to how it's described there. Sadly, they didn't quite explain what the Grimm itself was, only mentioning that Oak looked like he caught a chill, which in any retelling of it in Remnant always includes some form of that line. Oh, and this story is pretty much a staple in the culture of Remnant. It spawned several horror movie variations of the story, and a party game called The Chill in which you have to deduce who is the Chill. Of course, this isn't a perfect representation of the story from the Fairy Tales of Remnant book. Details are left out here and there, with the major one being exactly what happened as explained earlier. You lose out on some of the small details, such as the parents being mad they came home so late, or that she searches for other characters who were named, such as Lorimar, who was in the episode, or Dijon, who's only shown as a corpse. Despite that all, it is an amazing episode with good music and sound design behind it. The background art is nice, and how they decided to show Poppy seeing herself already possessed by the chill, with the glass looking out into the foreboding forest instead of a mirror, was great. It was easily my favorite scene within the episode. How they decided to go about depicting the corpses of everyone afflicted by the chill too was pretty good, even giving a little minute jump scare with one of them. A major shift is when we notice Poppy getting possessed herself. It's pretty unclear in the book, but in this episode, we see her get taken in before she reaches her home. It was a nice little touch to be added. I do want to mention that, unlike the story, the chill itself cannot do what it did exactly. It's a lot more limited, and they often almost always stay alone. This Grimm never leaves the shadows and can only possess you for a few minutes before leaving you laying around to be found. It can't wipe out a town as fast as we see it, and it's kind of easy to tell when someone has been taken over. They can't speak, and even if they do, it's only the last word that they did say, over and over again. Creepy. Just imagine what words could have been stated continuously. It could be unnerving depending on when they get someone. On top of that, this Grimm simply prefers to rely on the unwillingness for someone to harm a friend or loved one, until they know for sure that they are gone. Harsh. Psychological horror is a good way to really send the chills down someone's spine. Eventually, the story does end, with Ozpin stating a viewpoint, or moral, that I find much better than his little aside in the book, simply stating that this is a cautionary tale there. A story that was simply used to scare children into obedience, though it's now serving as a warning of darkness that may lurk within us that we fail to realize. Truly, a chilling thought to be considered. Hope you all enjoyed this episode of RWBY Fairy Tales Explored. If you did, please follow our journeys throughout Remnant by dropping a like, follow, hitting that bell, and subscribing to see our content in the future. Until next time.